Part 27 begins in the quiet aftermath of the hearing, yet the tension of what unfolded between Jasmine Crockett and Pam Bondi continues to reverberate, not just in the room, but across public perception and institutional memory. This confrontation has evolved from a pointed exchange of words into a defining moment that illuminates how moral acknowledgement, legal authority, and procedural integrity intersect under pressure. The shadow of Jeffrey Epstein looms large, symbolizing systemic failures and the human cost of unacknowledged harm. Crockett's insistence on explicitly recognizing survivors demanded that their presence be validated publicly and ethically, while Bondi's calm, structured responses reinforced that legitimacy rests on historical context, legal frameworks, and adherence to procedural standards. The interplay of moral urgency and institutional rigor is what gives this exchange its enduring significance. Looking deeper, Crockett's approach underscores that moral accountability cannot be deferred or treated as symbolic. Her insistence forced recognition into the moment, demonstrating that survivors' experiences carry weight beyond procedural record or legal technicalities. Bondi's measured defense highlights that accountability must also consider historical context, legal precedent, and institutional norms, ensuring that responses are grounded in authority while maintaining credibility. Observers simultaneously evaluate both dimensions, the authenticity of acknowledgement and the sufficiency of procedural justification, revealing that modern oversight requires a multidimensional lens encompassing ethical, legal, and emotional responsibilities. The Epstein legacy amplifies the stakes, transforming what might have been a routine procedural inquiry into a moral test for institutions. While the hearing addressed past prosecutorial decisions, the deeper narrative focused on systemic failures, social inequities, and the consequences of institutional inaction. Crockett's insistence made acknowledgement unavoidable, placing human experience at the center of accountability. Bondi's emphasis on procedure ensured that historical actions were contextualized, preserving institutional credibility. Together, their exchange models the necessary balance between empathy and structural integrity when addressing complex, morally fraught issues. The hearing also demonstrates the iterative nature of accountability. Individual moments rarely produce instant transformation, but they establish standards, shape expectations, and influence institutional culture over time. Crockett's insistence may normalize explicit acknowledgement of survivors in future hearings, while Bondi's disciplined framing provides guidance for defending historical decisions responsibly. Over time, these interactions accumulate, embedding a culture where moral acknowledgement and procedural rigor coexist, reinforcing legitimacy while maintaining ethical resonance. Accountability is a continuous process, refined through repetition and reflection. The tension between moral intensity and procedural composure illustrates a democratic principle. Conflict is essential for institutional refinement. Crockett's urgency provides ethical clarity, moral framing, and immediacy. Bondi's steadiness preserves authority, structural coherence, and procedural integrity. Observers learn that oversight requires both forces in harmony, showing that neither empathy nor procedure can be abandoned without consequence. This exchange becomes a practical template for handling ethically complex, legally nuanced scenarios, demonstrating the multidimensional nature of accountability in action. Responsibility extends beyond officials to the public. Civic engagement, reflection, and critical discussion ensure that moments like the Crockett-Bondi exchange translate into lasting cultural and institutional influence. The hearing framed by Epstein's shadow serves as a benchmark for how survivors are acknowledged, how authority is defended, and how communication balances moral clarity with procedural rigor. Its enduring impact relies on public insistence that acknowledgement complements structure, empathy strengthens authority, and oversight is maintained to the highest ethical and procedural standards. The ultimate insight is that justice is holistic, integrating recognition, empathy, and structured authority. The dialogue initiated in the hearing continues to influence public expectations, institutional behavior, and societal norms. Transparency, acknowledgement of human experience, and procedural rigor are mutually reinforcing pillars, not competing alternatives. The Crockett-Bondi exchange exemplifies how democracy functions under scrutiny, ensuring that ethical clarity and institutional integrity advance together, leaving a lasting imprint far beyond the immediate controversy.